And we're live. Hey, everybody. Welcome into the Flippin' Hippos YouTube channel. I'm Star the Flippin' Hippo. Today is Tuesday, September 29th, and this is the very last live show of Q3. This is the very last live show before we start Q4 of 2020. And I've been talking about Q4 since August. For 2 months, I've been giving you guys tips and tricks to get ready, ways to get organized, ways to get routines and to-do lists and things implemented in your life to make Q4 easier and more streamlined for you. I have one more Q4 video actually coming out this week. It will drop on Thursday. It is a pre-recorded video, and it will be a couple of last-minute tips and tricks and hints about Q4, and we're going to talk about moving into Q4 and what it means this year, being 2020, the year of the poop. And yes, I did say that last night in my What Sold on eBay video. I called 2020 the year of the poop, and I stand by that, and I am going to refer to 2020 as the year of the poop from here forth on. Let's say hi to some folks in the chat. Colleen Gallagher is here, very good friend of mine, as well as Bill and Dave. They're Gnome the Frog there at the Blue Wrench. Say hi to them. Mary McQuaid is here. DYI by me. Excuse me. Jamie Brown. Better Barbie's here. Love catching you live. Thank you so much. I got to meet Better Barbie at eBay Open 2019. Wonderful lady. Hey, Pamela's Procurements. Welcome in. And thanks for joining us live tonight. There's Holly. I run amok on the screen with the blue wrench. Another one of my mods. Say hi to her. Lisa Pecos. Welcome in. Welcome in. So, I am double fisting the caffeine tonight, and I've also had a very large iced PSL from Starbucks. Today was National Coffee Day. So if I'm talking really, really fast, it's because I've had a lot of caffeine. No, that's just my energy level today. I'm going to try to finish that one and start on this one. Carrie Berry's mom is here. I've met her at eBay Open as well. Welcome in. So while we wait for some folks to filter in, we're going to look at something together. Today's going to kind of just be an off-the-cuff AMA. You guys can ask me anything. We can talk about Q4 or anything that's related to reselling or any of the platforms. I have some notes here on a topic that came up in Thrifter Reseller World, Casey's group, which I am an admin in and moderate for him. A topic came up today, and I ended up having to ban someone, but I took some notes, and maybe I'll talk about that a little bit, because sometimes it's okay to talk about controversial stuff, right? Okay, so I bought myself a toy, and yes, before you ask, I am a 12-year-old child stuck in this body. We had to go to the Sprint or the T-Mobile store. It's both now. T-Mobile bought out Sprint, and we decided to go. There's a comic book store in the same mall as our Sprint store. And so we're like, well, let's go see what they're doing. Let's go take a look at the comic book store, because we haven't been there since before the shutdown. So we went. We had our masks on. We're being safe and all that. And he was only $25. See? And I have a big, giant one of him. You guys have probably seen. Should have brought them all. I should have brought all my baby Yodas over here. Anyway, I have a big one I paid like $30 for. It's just like a soft cloth doll body with a hard baby Yoda head. And that was $30. And then I have these little ones Keith bought me for my birthday. And I think they were like $10 a piece. And he got me like 6 of them, right? So considerably $25 only for one that makes noises. It's really, really affordable for a baby Yoda. Anyway, I haven't taken it out of the box yet. I want to. It comes with a frog and the infamous cup or bowl that you see him with in like every single meme. If you've seen the show The Mandalorian, there is a scene in the show where he does eat a frog and the frog's sticking out of his mouth. Sorry, David, he ate a frog. And then there's a scene with the wooden bowl where he's drinking bone broth. And so that bowl is like in every meme. Anyway, it comes with the frog and the bowl. And it makes noises, and it's cute, and I'm a child. So I did buy that for myself. And I had to share it. Donna's here. So Donna was one of my friends that I actually showed this to and said, do I really need this before I bought it? No, the answer is no, but I wanted it. So let's say hi to the rest of the folks and start. You guys can start putting your questions in so I can answer everyone as we go along. Over caffeinated. Yeah, a little bit. We did have some caffeine today. Hello, Thrifty Space Queen and Marilyn from Arkansas. Debbie, Jacob, hey, welcome in. Donna's here. Love the baby Yoda. So you guys can start throwing your questions into the chat now. Ask me anything. And while you start putting the questions in, let's tackle this controversial topic. Should we be expected to tip our postal workers? And if you're in Casey's group, you probably know which post I'm talking to that blew up today. Basically, the OP, the original poster, said that as a retired postal worker, I'm not going to mention names, guys, but I kind of have to tell you what the original post was. That as a retired postal worker of 31 years, if you expect your postal worker to pick up your packages, you need to be tipping them. Now, I read that as if I expect my postal worker to do their job, what they're paid for, what they signed up for, what they knew they were getting into. Because I don't know any person in the whole entire world that would apply to be a postal worker and not think that that means you're going to be picking up packages. Like, I wouldn't think you would apply for the job of a postal worker thinking you're going to be flipping burgers or ringing people up on a cash register or driving a semi-truck across the country with freaking produce in the back. You pretty much know you're going to be picking up packages and it's your job, right? So, no, that's entitlement. That's very entitled. It's rude. Do your job. It's your job. Now, that's not to say and we've been very lucky so far in that we always take our packages to the post office. We don't leave them here for pickup. Our post office is 2 blocks away. We like to walk, and I don't like to leave my stuff outside. So we've had 2 postal workers ever in the history of our reselling. We were very, very blessed with our first one. Her name was Amber, and I loved her. And then Amber got relocated closer to home because she had a new baby. So then we got John, and I absolutely love John. And when John's not there, his fill-in's name is Linda, and she's great. So we are blessed because I have heard some horror stories about some really awful postal workers, both the carriers and the people at the counter. We've been so blessed with the 3 great ones. They go above and beyond. They are nice to us. And yes, I give them gifts at holidays and sometimes just because they need cookies. I'll bring them cookies. I think they need cookies. I bring them cookies. I will bring them stuff. I will give them gifts, whatever. Because they're nice to me. They don't expect it. They're not entitled. And they're just generally always going above and beyond. So that said, if I did leave my packages on the porch and my postal worker had the attitude of, you better tip me or I'm not taking these, I would have a really big problem with that. And, you know, I'm professional on this channel. I really am. But in real life, I have a really terrible mouth. In that I do swear a lot, but also when I'm angry, sometimes my mouth is big. So I would have an issue and I would probably be on the porch screaming. But it rubbed me the wrong way. And actually, I think it rubbed everyone the wrong way because the post, I don't think, went the way the OP went. And unfortunately, the OP is the person I had to remove and block from the group. He got kicked out. He basically told Keith he didn't give an F if we removed him from the group after he called a bunch of people names and snowflakes and all kinds of stuff. So he needed to be removed from the group. But I think he thought people were going to agree with him. I don't know what he thought, but everyone seemed to be thinking, yeah, no, that's entitlement. Let me put this into perspective for you. I used to do direct care for a living. And the very last job I had before I hurt my back and got disabled, I worked in a group home with 3 ladies that I took care of. And I was happy to do so. It was my job. The types of folks I worked with could sometimes get combative. And we knew that when we went through training. You knew what you were getting into. You knew you were going to be cleaning up folks' bodily fluids. I don't know how else to put it. And you knew that sometimes they would get combative and hit you and scratch you. But you knew that. And I loved taking care of people, and I loved my job. And there's a lot of jobs where there's things that other people look at it like, I could never change an adult's diaper. I could never give someone a shower. I could never stand there while someone attacked me. But we did. That was a part of our job, and we knew it signing up. But I never thought to call the parents of the girls I took care of and, hey, if you expect them to get their shower tonight, or if you want me to cook their supper tonight, if you want me to feed her, you better give me a tip. No, because that was all part of my job. I was in direct care. I took care of people. I helped people who couldn't do things for themselves do things. And that was my job. And I never expected anything above and beyond that. Did the parents give us cookies and treats and gifts at Christmas and stuff and on our birthdays? Yeah, they sure did. I didn't expect it from them, but they did. But yeah, I didn't call the parents and say, I'm not giving them their meds or I'm not doing my job. Your mechanic doesn't tell you, you better tip me or I'm going to put your engine in incorrectly. The girl at Starbucks doesn't say, I'm going to spit in your coffee unless you tip me. I mean, to me, it's just ridiculous to expect tips to do your job. And I have an issue with that. I know it's kind of sometimes an unpopular opinion, but I really have issues with postal workers who feel like they're above and beyond and too freaking lazy to do their job. You signed up to be a postal worker. So you're going to be picking up packages. I mean, it's your job. And you make over $20 an hour, and you get benefits, you get overtime, you get a retirement package. Take the tips and shove them up your butt, really. Because there's a lot of people in this world who work minimum wage and part-time and don't get benefits or retirement packages. And those are the jobs that we typically associate with tips. And those are the folks that we should be tipping. The waitresses, the Uber drivers, the delivery drivers, the people who bring us our food, the people who wait on us at the restaurants and stuff. They don't get paid a lot. And most of them don't get full-time hours, and they don't get benefits, and they don't get retirement packages. If you apply for a job that part of your job is to pick up packages and you make what you make and you get the benefits and all of this, don't expect tips. Sorry. That whole thread just rubbed me the wrong way. And we've had these arguments before in other Facebook groups. A lot of postal workers are lazy and they don't want to do their job. They don't want to come pick up. Oh my God, you left more than 5 packages. Yeah, I sure did. I left 70 because we ship that many packages every day. And that's what keeps your little post office open. Do your job. If you're not a jerk, I'll give you gifts when gifts are deemed appropriate. That said, we did look up if they are allowed to accept tips, because that was the second part of the argument in the thread. Are they even allowed to accept gifts? The technical answer is they can take gifts, but not tips. You cannot use these two words interchangeably per the USPS policy. Postal workers may not take money, cash, or cash equivalent gifts. That means gift cards, folks. So they're not supposed to be taking cash or anything that's cash equivalent. On any one occasion, they can accept a gift, but it has to be $20 or less in value. And the occasion they gave as an example was Christmas. And then they cannot accept more than $50 from one person per calendar year. So no money, or no cash equivalent. So that's gift cards and checks and things like that. They're supposed to only get gifts that are less than 20. And they should not be taking more than $50 from one person per year. Do we all follow these rules? No. I mean, I don't want to get my people in trouble, but gift cards have happened. Whatever. But those are the technical rules. And thank you so much for the super chat. $9.99 from Flippin' Daddy. Drive-by super chat. Thank you so much. So that is something I wanted to talk about real quick. And then I'm going to go up here and see where I left off in the chat and get kind of caught up and see if there's any questions. Jacob Michael says, don't forget to spend your eBay supplies coupon by tomorrow. Yes, absolutely. Tomorrow is the last day to use it. You pay your fees for a store subscription. Getting free supplies is part of what is offered in that subscription that you're paying for. Use it. Use your coupon. Hey, Tammy. Welcome in, Tammy. Pamela says, how do you go through all your inventory to see which listings have fallen off? So, Pamela, about twice a year, usually in the spring and then again in the fall. Kind of depends. I start going through my inventory one bin a day. That's how I do it. It takes forever. If I have extra time, I'll do 2 or 3 a day on the weekend. Keith will help out on the weekends. But just one bin at a time. What about the blue dot under specifics? Is it better to NA or unknown some spots just to get the blue? Why am I having a brain fart for the word I want, Barbie? If it doesn't apply, and that's such a hard word to remember, right? If it doesn't apply to what I'm listing, I just leave it blank. So that's what we do personally. How long do you have your clothing listing up before you clearance them out? It's not a matter of time. It's a matter of price, Thrifty Space Queen. So I had a whole live show about this a couple weeks ago, so I don't want to go into too much detail for the folks that have already heard this. But basically, our items get discounted 5% every other month or so. And when they reach a certain point, I know it's time to put them at $9.99 free ship in our clearance category in our store called the Closet Hut or the Clearance Hut, something. And then they're there for a month before the listing's going to roll over again. That's when I throw it on auction. I try twice. We run our auctions from Tuesday evening to Sunday evening. And I let it run twice. And if it doesn't sell, it comes down. And if it's a good brand, then I can figure out why it wasn't selling. If I have to redo the photos or whatever, we'll put it back in. But most times those are the things that we just give up on and redonate. But it's not a matter of time. It's a matter of price. So it takes a lot longer for something that started at 50 to get to that point, and it'll probably sell before it does than something that started at 20. Hey, Jules, welcome in. Welcome in. Thanks for joining us. Holly has been shamed in groups for that too. Someone ripped her a new one because she left 2 packages out for, oh Lord, not 2 packages. Listen, this is our job, and if we're mailing 50 or 2 packages a day, your local post office gets credit for everything that ships from there, and that's what allows them to have funding. So here, let me put it into perspective this way. For anybody that thinks it's shameful or giving them too much work or making their job too hard for them by putting out a bunch of packages, when you go to the grocery store or to Walmart and you're purchasing groceries for your family, whether you have a family of 1 or a family of 10, you're purchasing groceries. Do you look at the girl at the register and think, oh, geez, oh, no, I have too many groceries. I have to put some of these back. This is just a whole cart full. I can't put all these on the belt. If I put all these groceries on the belt, that's just too much for her to wring out. That's just too much work for her. Yeah, it's her job to wring out groceries, but I got a whole cart full. I got to put some back. And if you kind of hear the sarcasm and a little bit of snarkiness coming out of me tonight, it's because there's a little bit of snarkiness and sarcasm tonight. It's ridiculous to me that folks think putting out packages for someone who literally gets paid to pick up packages is wrong. You put your whole cart of groceries on the thing and you don't think twice. Your waitress runs back and forth getting you soda refills and you don't think twice. It's their job. Yeah, it reads like extortion, Tammy. If you don't tip me, I'm not going to do my job. It's extortion. Holly says, yeah, Holly is also lucky. We've had these talks before. She also has a very wonderful girl at the counter that she gives gifts to. And I give gifts to my folks all the time. I have no problem with it. The girl who cuts my hair, I tip her a lot, probably as much as my haircut costs, because she's an amazing person. But if she was an asshole, I would not tip her. Whoops, I swore. Yeah, if you don't tip, I'm not going to give you your meds. That's funny, Fern. They cannot accept tips. That's correct. They can't accept gifts, resale rejects. Swimmerization is in the house. Hello, welcome in, welcome in. Marilyn, I understand that as well. The company that I worked for, that I was just referring to in the story about the girls I took care of, we were paid very, very, very well. And one of my coworkers left us to go work for the Postal Service and was telling me what her starting wages were just for her days of training. And my jaw dropped. It was like, wow. But I loved caregiving. I was in that field in some way, shape, or form since I was like 16 and volunteering, or 14. I started volunteering at a hospital. That was my jam. I loved taking care of people. We have a terrible mailman. There ain't a chance I would ever tip him, Thrifty Space Queen. I mean, that goes along with anything. Like if you have a waitress who throws your plate down on the thing and your steak flies off on the table and she's just a snot face and she never comes to check your drinks, you're really not going to tip her. But if you have a waitress who's kind and thoughtful and brings you the ketchup and refills your drinks, you're going to tip her like 20% or maybe even more, depending on the size of your bill and how many people you had and how much work she had to do. Donna says, remember to hit the like button. Thank you so much for that. It does help the channel, guys. So medical workers cannot take tips or cash. Where I worked, we were allowed to take gifts, but we had specific rules, just like the postal office. So I don't know if it's like a blanket across the medical field. We were not allowed to take tips or cash. We couldn't like get gift cards or anything like that. But when the families would bring us, they'd bring cookies or cakes or chocolates or something for the holidays for us, we were allowed to accept those. Thrifty Space Queen, preach, girl. I'm catching up, so you guys got to get some more questions in there for me. I don't ask my bosses to tip me when I do my job, says Mary McLean. Your postman told you he might come back for one package. So, Lucille, this is where I would absolutely call my post office and talk to the postal. Holy brain fart. What is the boss guy called? The postal man. Nope, that's not it. He's got a name. If somebody knows it, put it in the comments because I'm totally having a brain fart about what their boss is called. It's a really cool name, too. But I would call and I would be like, listen, Linda, listen, he's not doing his job, or she. So yeah, James Hester is absolutely correct. Their salaries are public because they are actually considered government employees, folks. Our taxes pay their wages. So that's another thing that's kind of annoying. You get paid really well. You get great benefits. You get a retirement package. All of them mostly get now. Recently this year, because of everything going on, they cut back their full time. But prior to that, I mean, they could work as much as they wanted. They're protected by a union. So I don't know, maybe do your job. There I go being snotty again, but maybe just do your job. Hey, Michigan girl, welcome in. Thanks for watching our videos. We appreciate it. Yes. Swimmerization, I did do a whole show, how I clearance things and how I run sales and all of that. It was 2 weeks ago. Last week we talked about wholesale. So you can search the channel for that if you'd like, and your leisure and watch it. Hashtag sassy star, sassafras. Sassy star. The other day on Instagram, I was put off by someone who said not all thrifting is ethical. So I just recorded a video today that will be coming out later this week. I touched upon how thrifters are being sustainable and keeping things out of landfills. And if that's not ethical, I don't know what it is. Just saying. We're keeping tons of stuff out of the landfills. We're recycling, repurposing, reusing every day. Well, that's ethical to me. And guess what? Do you think any store doesn't mark their stuff up from what they buy it for? Y'all are getting me on some topics that get me heated tonight, and I'm over caffeinated. This is fun. Hey, Janice, welcome in. Welcome in. Megan says, I love being a caregiver too. Yeah, that was my jam. Unfortunately, that's how I ended up disabled, hurt my back at work. This is good too. I like doing this. Reselling and the videos. I like it all. So my mom was a nurse and my dad was the head of radiology. So it was kind of in my blood to be a healthcare worker. But I really like reselling. And I was just telling Keith this morning, I think I'm unhireable now. And not just because of my disability. Like clearly physically, I can't work for someone else because no one's going to tolerate my limitations and the amount of breaks I need except for me. I mean, we have set up this whole room. If you've seen all my old videos about how I do things and how I've managed to make things handy capable for me on my back, I can't get a job outside of the house. But even if tomorrow miraculously my back was healed, I think I'm unhireable now. And I don't think I could ever go back to work, even in the healthcare field. I think I'm spoiled. I think I like sleeping when I want to sleep. I think that I want to do what I want to do. And I don't think that I could listen to anybody else tell me what to do or be my own boss anymore. So I'm unhireable. Thank you so much for the super chat, Greg. $5, super late. So here's a super chat. You see me squinting my eyeballs trying to read. I've seen a lot of those kinds of posts. Here's the thing, Jamie. I think people are jealous. I just think it's human nature that if someone's, say they're in a job that they don't like and they feel like they're slaving away for nothing, and they see someone else being successful while living pretty much a free life of getting up when they want, working when they want, people don't like to see that. It makes them feel bad about themselves. And so then they have to be on the defensive and be rude. A lot of times when people attack entrepreneurs or resellers or anyone that does what we do, it's because they're unhappy with their own life. There's something going on there that they see you being happy and they wish they could have it, and they don't know how to do it, or they just don't have the gumption to put the work in, and they just have to be resentful. It's whatever. I'm happy in my life, and y'all should be happy in yours, and just let people like that roll off your back. Is it water off a duck? Wow. Dalton, Georgia picker. I hope I said that right. I totally agree, Star. Thanks for all the information you always give. I followed your suggestion, and my eBay store is on fire. That is awesome. I love to hear that. That is amazing. Love to hear it. So, Postmaster. Like so many people. Thank you so much for answering that. I knew it was a cool name. I've always liked the way Postmaster sounded. I just totally brain farted. If he didn't come back for your package, call his boss. That's his job. That would be like somebody refusing to ring up your groceries because they're tired. I'm going to walk over here, and maybe I'll be back to bring out your milk and finish my job. Cookies and stuff for the whole unit, medical workers, no problem. Yes, Fern, exactly. We had one family. I worked in a nursing home before the house I worked on. I worked at a nursing home years ago, and we had one family, like this, one of the families of one of the women that we took care of in the nursing home. She had a wonderful husband and kids, and every holiday season they would bring in the big, huge containers of coffee from Starbucks. And there'd be all these little cups with sugar packets and creamers, and there'd be donuts, and it would be for like the whole unit. And it was absolutely lovely. It's nice to know you're appreciated, but it's not nice to be entitled and expect the tips or the gifts for doing what you're supposed to be doing. It's one thing to get it, oh, surprise, thank you, I'm appreciated. And this whole post was nothing but entitlement. So Megan, if you go to your Seller Hub under marketing, it should say, let me just do it while I talk about it so I don't lead you astray. So on the back end of your eBay, under your Seller Hub, there's a tab at the top, marketing. If you hover there, go down to the bottom, it says subscriber discounts. Click on that, and then the very first thing you'll see is eBay shipping supplies. There's a blue button, see details, and it takes you right to your coupon code. Mine says already redeemed, but yours will have like a code you can copy and paste. And below where you're going to copy your code, there's another blue button that says start shopping. If you click that, it takes you directly to the eBay shipping supply store. You pick out what you want to get close enough to the amount your coupon is. Depending on your store subscription is what you get. We always go a little bit over rather than under. I'd rather pay a couple bucks extra than not get everything that we're entitled to. And then when you check out, you just put your code in. That's that simple. The Postmaster. I'm going to make up a song about Postmasters now. Smash the like button, y'all. Thank you so much, Tammy. The comments are so delayed. I think it's not the comments. I think it's me. I think it's absolutely me. Because I'm just kind of going down and catching up. Thank you so much for the super chat, Tammy. $10. She says, this is your tip. I'm allowed to accept tips and super chats. So thank you so much. I appreciate it. Holly, absolutely. So most of us who have ever been self-employed are now unhireable. Yeah, I mean, and Keith and I were literally talking about that this morning. My insomnia this is why I'm over caffeinated tonight, y'all. My insomnia has been kicking my butt just like the last week or so. I don't know if it's stress or allergies or whatever, but I'm just laying, I'm not sleeping. And I'm still getting up relatively early most of the time, or I was. I'm just so tired all the time. And so the last couple of days, I've just said, you know what? I work for myself. I work from home. I'm going to go with the flow. I'm going to stop fighting it, because in the past, if I stop fighting my insomnia and I just roll with it, this is how my insomnia works. You have to play mind games with it. So if I think I have to sleep at night and I have to be up by 9 or 10 in the morning, which is when I try to get up to start my day, it's like my insomnia is like, that's not going to happen. You're going to lay awake till 4, right? If I just kind of relax and go with the flow and say, fine, I'll stay till 4 in the morning working and sleep till noon. I'll do whatever. I work from home. I make my own hours. So if it wants to keep me up till 4 in the morning, I will find things to do till 4 in the morning or till 3 in the morning, and then read for an hour and go to sleep and sleep till noon and start over. So I've been sleeping till noon, and then we had a lot of caffeine. But what will eventually happen is my insomnia will think that that's the right schedule that I want to be on. So it'll start doing something different. Anyway, my point is, I digress. And I keep saying we were talking about this morning, but I slept till noon. My sleeping is so whack right now. But I said to Keith, how could I ever go back to work for anyone else? Could I just waltz in whenever I feel like it? Hey, I couldn't sleep last night, so I chose to sleep in. No, not going to work. Not going to work. Colleen says, I could never work for anyone else again. I do too, because between my back, my disability in my back, the migraine headaches that I suffer from, and my insomnia, I literally can make this work and work around all of that and still get in, 8 to 10 hours of work a day on my terms and sleep when I want. You're never going to find that with an employer. Janice says, I wish I would have started reselling years ago. Me too. Me 5. eBay isn't always intuitive to me. I did my first sale last weekend. That's awesome. Congrats. The insomnia thing is so me. Yeah, Holly and Donna too. I have a group of friends that are all insomniacs. Go figure. Hey, eBay addicts, welcome in. And And that's the beautiful part about working for yourself. If you're a night owl, you can work until 3 or 4 and go to bed and sleep till noon. If you like to get up at the crack of dawn, you can wake up at 5 or 6 in the morning and go to bed at 8 or whatever you want to do. You do it because it's your choice. Tammy says, I raised my sons to be unhireable. They stay up all night. They get up and take pics and go to the post office. Yeah, but you raised your kids to be entrepreneurs and self-driven and their own bosses, which is amazing, Tammy. You raise your kids to know that they can do what they want as long as they do what they need. That's what you got. There's a balance. Being a reseller is not laying around and sleeping till noon and binging Netflix all day long. No, you got to do what you need to do. So if you want to sleep till noon, that's fine. But by 2 o'clock, you better be at work, and you better work till 10 or 11 or midnight at the earliest, or more than that. They say most of us put in a lot more work than the average job. Noman the Frog, I could not work for someone else. My gosh, when I met Bill and David, Noman the Frog, they both still worked outside of the house, and so did Keith. I was the only one of the 4 that worked full-time on eBay. And they came out to visit. In fact, this time last year, right? Didn't you guys just put up the memory on Facebook from a year ago of us on the couch together sitting for the photo? Anyway, they came out to visit last year, and that was all Bill and Dave and Keith could talk about or think about. They were just like working towards quitting their job and doing this full time. And it's been a year, and all 3 of them now work full time from home. So congrats to Keith. And congrats to Bill and David, man. You guys, we are living the dream. Remember a year ago? And we weren't. Now we are. Pam says, well said, Star. Speaking of eBay addicts, guys, go over to his channel and subscribe and like. I'm going to be live tomorrow on his channel at 6 p.m. Eastern, which is 3 Pacific. It should be fun. We'll be able to pick my brain and his. So you can tune in there. I will put up a reminder and a link in my Facebook group tomorrow to remind you guys to go over there and catch me live on their channel, his channel. I say they, but his. All right, guys, it's been about 40 minutes. So if you have any more questions that you want to ask me, now is the time. You guys have an open floor tonight, an open platform to ask me anything. I feel like I spent more time complaining and bitching about the postal world. Oh, there's another swear. When I get really comfortable, I swear. I'm sorry. Clutch your pearls. Yeah. How to sort. Another super chat from Greg, $1.49. Thank you so much. With the unicorn. So Carissa, am I saying your name correctly? Carissa says, how advise you on how to sort your babies. And now I get a poop. Greg, you're so funny. Another super chat from Greg. Thank you so much. It's a 99 cent with a little poop. So Carissa, you're not going to like what I have to say, but I do pride myself on always being honest, transparent, realistic, and doling out tough love to my viewers. So here's how you sort your TY babies. They go in the pile that's being donated to Goodwill. Sort them right over there. We just got rid of ours, finally, all of them. They're gone. I'm not even going to try anymore. I'm over it. I'm done. I tried auctioning them off super cheaply. That was the very first video I ever did on YouTube 3-4 years ago. I tried selling all the dogs together. Unicorn poop. I tried selling all the chickens together. I am over it. The box, we have a big pile of stuff that we are getting rid of. We are definitely getting all the poop out of our store, and we are minimizing our own personal belongings, getting ready for our move to Florida. So we have a big pile out in the hallway. I'm probably not going to give it to Goodwill. I'm actually probably going to call Salvation Army. I don't know if they do this now though, because of C-19 and quarantine and 2020 being the year of the poop. But it used to be you could call Salvation Army if you had a bunch of stuff, and they would come to your house with the truck and some people, some workers that would come in and take it all away for you. I mean, I have a bunch of stuff saved up for them. Good stuff, too. We're just trying to minimize. I don't want to move a lot of crap. I would rather just start all over. Starting eBay in Q4 is not crazy at all. It's actually the best time to start, but I would advise not to let that be the precedent for what you expect moving forward. If you're brand new to eBay and you start in Q4 and you're going to have better sales and you're probably going to grow a little bit faster than folks who start in other quarters. So I would just warn you, don't think that's the precedence. When Q1 rolls around in January, things are going to slow down a little bit, and you're going to have to build yourself up to the level that you want to be at. Donna, I did. I covered where to find the coupon. Thank you. Webkins are bread and butter plush. So those are good if you're willing to sell your $10 to $15 plushies. Sometimes they're worth more. I talk about Gans Webkins a lot, actually. They're hit or miss. Some have the coupon codes and they're only worth $12, and I've had some without the coupon codes on them and they're worth $25, $30. So I always pick them up when I find them for 50 cents or less. I just take the chance, I take the risk and bring them home. They're very good for bread and butter plushies, though, for filler. Tammy, absolutely. How do you sort your Beanie Babies? Into the Goodwill pile. So are you buying his house? I assume you're referring to Casey. We were looking into buying the house that he lives in currently. He's moving, as most of you know, to a new house. But we don't want to leave here until probably spring. We would have had to leave here in like 2 months. And we have some things, some obligations here with our families. We really don't want to leave here until probably spring. We could have left in 2 months, but we just, I don't know. And then there's this other neighborhood that we really, really like. So we want to go back in probably January. Maybe in between Thanksgiving and Christmas, maybe January. But we want to go back down there and look. There's 2 or 3 other neighborhoods I really want to look at. One of them is away from Tampa a little bit more and in the woods. And you can get a house with like a lot of land and a big yard and kind of like way more space from a community and neighbors, which is perfect for us because Keith and I are hermits and recluses. And some of the houses we were looking at there are just as big, if not bigger, and they have way more land and they're actually cheaper because they're, I guess you pay more money to be closer to the city. I always thought you paid more money for land because everywhere I've ever lived, like in PA, if your house has a lot of land, it costs a lot more. But so we will be looking. I really would like to live kind of away from people. That sounds awful, but I'm not talking like a big old farm or acres of land. I just want a yard and people way over there. Yeah, Webkins are good. Yeah, start selling now. If you're not selling now, sell now. This is the time to get started. This is when people are spending their money. Hey, Steve, welcome in. Bye, Greg. See you later. Thank you so much for all the super chats. Yeah, just make sure you have good internet. So it's not like it's going to be way out in the country. See, if I had my druthers, I would live on an acre, honestly, away from people. But then you'd have to drive like a half an hour to get to places, and you would really be isolated. And I watch a lot of horror movies. That's not a good idea. Plus, Keith is kind of in the middle. He wants to be away from people, but like a 5-minute drive to the superstore. The superstore. The grocery store. I think I was thinking, I don't know what I'm thinking. Anyways, guys, I'm going to get off of here. If you think of any questions later that you forgot to ask, you can always come back and leave them in the comments. I do answer all the comments and respond to everyone, but I kind of get behind sometimes. But I will get to you, I promise. Same with emails. Best way to get a hold of me is in my Facebook group because I do get notified every time a new post is made in that group. I get notified every time I'm tagged in that group. And I check in with that group every 2 hours or so. It is the best way to get a hold of me. Sending me messages on Facebook and Instagram, I don't ever see them. I don't have notifications set for them or anything. And Facebook doesn't show you messages of people who aren't your friends. So I always just advise folks, email and YouTube comments are a good way to get a hold of me. I will get to you eventually. Just be patient. But the best, fastest, quickest, if you have something that's time sensitive, if you need an answer now, tag me in my Facebook group. It's called Flippin' Hippos Reseller Pod. It's free to join. It's a really nice group of people. The people from the reselling community that are in that group are nice. You can be totally new and ask stupid questions, which I don't think there are any stupid questions, but you know what I mean? And no one's going to make you feel bad. So join the group. It's a good group to be in just to network within the community with the people in there. It's the best way to get a hold of me. It's a good way to learn about Plush because there's a lot of Plush sellers in there and stuff. Flippin' Hippos Reseller Pod. R1J1 list is also moving north. Yep. So I guess I'll have to have one more winter in Pennsylvania, but that means one more fall. Fall is my favorite season. Okay, so I think I covered everything in the comments. Again, if you forgot something, come back, leave a comment, say something in the Facebook group. Hit the thumbs up before you leave. It super duper duper helps the channel. And subscribe if you haven't. That helps the channel also. It also helps us feed all our hungry hippos. Don't forget to hit the little bell after you subscribe so you're notified of when I put up new content. And don't forget to use the little search bar on YouTube to check to see if I've covered a topic or already have a video on it if you have questions. And if you want to follow us on social media, we're at Flippin' Hippos on all the platforms, all the socials. We're at Flippin' Hippos. Thank you so much for throwing that link in there last minute, David. That is our Facebook group. Until next time, guys, go be productive. Go make some money. Do your job without expecting tips. And I'll see you guys next time. Thank you so much for spending tonight with me, hanging out, chatting. Y'all are the best. Bye.